just bite it off or just twist it off, and it's perfectly good. It's perfect to go.
That's full Sherman Potter right there.
We're seeing growth that's unprecedented.
Would you like to know more about my issues?
You know, this is a artisan product, right? 300 plus hands have touched it. It's not addictive. It's all natural. There's no additives.
See, this is the way it's supposed to be. Men in fine suits with interesting socks.
Right.
I mean, people should see. It's Glen Case right here from Kristoff Cigars, smoking the Maduro. For me, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking the San Andreas.
Ah, bless his soul. I don't remember when I first met you or got connected with you, but I feel like I've known you my whole life.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. And I always find that your brand, the Kristoff brand, one that when I talk to people who know about it, they love it. But I don't know if it is a brand that everybody knows about. Talk to me about how a guy like you says, you know what, cigars, that's my future.
So I spent 19 years in the corporate world, all in the financial services industry. Just got burnt out from the politics and the bureaucracy, and one day decided to pursue a passion, which were cigars. So that was back in 2004. And decided I'm going to start making cigars. And actually, when I started the company, it wasn't even Kristoff. It was called Exclusive Cigars. About a year later is when I came out with the first Kristoff, and that's when that really put us on the map.
Building a cigar brand is an incredibly difficult thing to do. What's that process? Walk me through how long it took from, I want to do this, to, hey, I'm doing this.
Right. So it took probably about 8 months before I was really able to start coming up with cigars that satisfied my palate, right? So unfortunately, blending a cigar is not a science, it's an art, right? So it's all trial and error, and it's finding out what I personally like to smoke. And fortunately, my palate is similar to a lot of smokers, right? So for me, it's about balance. I don't like anything that's too heavy, right? We double and triple ferment all of our tobacco, so it's incredibly smooth, full of flavor without the bite, the bitterness, the aftertaste. And I found that appeals to a lot of people. So that's kind of the approach I take. Our tobacco comes from everywhere: Honduras, Nicaragua, Dominican, Brazil, Ecuador, Mexico.
So much of what we discuss, and so much of the reason I'm attracted to cigars, is that it is for all people. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where you're from. You have always presented it with a bit of up style and a bit of up presentation. Because there are plenty of guys, it's like our Fingers Malloy. It's all Harley gear all the time, and still an absolute lover of the product.
Right. Our packaging, I like to call it kind of a rustic elegance, right? So we've got that rough cut cedar box, but we also have bands that are very elegant, the gold foil. So it's kind of a balance of the two. And in terms of the way I dress, I think this is my corporate career coming out in terms of personality. But that's kind of where it's at.
I have no corporate experience. I just think I look too fat in a t-shirt. This is all about hiding. Would you like to know more about my issues? Your cigars, very often I find with a pigtail.
Yes.
I would like to know why that is, because people often ask, what am I supposed to do with it? Do I cut? Wait, am I supposed to light on this end? For people who are new, it confuses them greatly. And describe what a pigtail is and why you like that look.
So the pigtail or the fuma is a very traditional way of capping a cigar back in Cuba 100 years ago, plus. So I wanted to maintain the integrity of that. Before it used to be just a kind of a simple wick, but now we put the twist on it, and that's become one of our signatures. I don't use a cutter, so I either just bite it off or just twist it off, and it's perfectly good. It's perfect to go.
That's full Sherman Potter right there. Well, how else do you want to get the thing off?
It works.
One of the things we focus on is what the FDA is doing in the world of cigars. We take a look at cigar taxes that happen in states. Being a guy based in Illinois, nothing can be easy tax-wise. In the state of Illinois, we're talking to guys from New York where the tobacco tax is 70%.
Right.
What is it that people don't understand when they try and conflate cigars and cigarettes?
Oh, I mean, it's a totally different thing. And I've spent a lot of time on the Hill years ago when the initial fight for the FDA, against the FDA. And, this is a artisan product, right? 300 plus hands have touched it. It's not addictive. It's all natural. There's no additives. And it's not, the average age of a cigar smoker is 28 years old. It's not kids smoking cigarettes or Philly blunts, right? It's a premium product selling for $8 to $15 a cigar. It's a celebratory product, so it's totally different than a cigarette, and that's been the message to the folks on the Hill and the FDA, saying, look, this is not a cigarette, and educating them why it's not.
Once you hear the information, you have the information, but yet people seem to want to avoid or ignore, forget the information. As an industry, all the different brands, large like you and smaller ones, do they find some commonality? Do they come together well to fight this subject?
I think we're making and have made a lot of progress, and there's a lot of people in the industry that have done a lot more than I have, obviously, and made. So I think we've made huge strides in educating not only consumers, but more importantly the FDA and the people on the Hill that really make a difference, that are signing some of these bills. So I think there's progress that's been made. I think we could do more, we could do better, but I think we're on a good course. But we're never going to be off the radar.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Right.
It's Glen Case. It's Kristoff Cigars. This Maduro is lovely. And by the way, this is in my humidor. This and the Sumatra
Love it. My two favorites.
Are in my humidor. Glenn, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good man. Mensch.